Teri Graves has been a trusted realtor in the Kansas City area for just over 20 years. But that's not all she's known for. She's active in her community, a trusted friend, and has great connections. This is Teri Graves, and this is her signature on the industry. Hi, Teri.
Hi, Rachel.
Thank you very much for sitting down with me today.
Oh, well, thank you for taking the time to invite me.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a series of 5 questions pertaining to real estate. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with question number 1. You ready?
Okay.
Okay, question number 1. What has your experience as a realtor taught you?
Well, number 1, to always be honest. Yeah, I was going to take that hair out of your mouth.
It was right in there.
To be a better listener.
Okay.
Because we tend to want to talk more and not listen as much, and we really need to listen better to what our clients are telling us. Mm-hmm. I've learned to be more compassionate. I've always been a compassionate person, but the foreclosure is back in 2008, 9, 10. Mm-hmm. I was handling a lot of those and meeting a lot of people that were going through it at the time, and I spent a lot of times down with them for 2-3 hours sometimes. And so I learned to be more compassionate. Mm-hmm. I've learned to embrace my strengths.
Okay.
And I am better at giving back within our community than I was before I was a real estate agent.
Oh, I've seen you around doing like the laundry drives and what's the...
Mimi's Food Pantry, yep. We do that. And then we do a lot within the community with this RE/MAX office,
yes.
you know.
Yes, we certainly do.
I try to participate in all of that, plus some stuff on the side.
So. Good. Well, good for you. That's really, really awesome. Okay, so question number 2. Do you have a preferred way in which you run your business?
I am very hands-on.
Okay.
And there are a lot of the younger people out there that are fabulous about doing everything by computer and text, and I'm not that. I'm old-fashioned. I want that paperwork in front of me. I want to be able to review it, see it. Mm-hmm. I will text clients if that's their preferred way, mm-hmm. but I prefer a phone call. I think you have a better camaraderie with them when you have a phone call. You have a better understanding. Things get misinterpreted through text messages a lot of times in
yes.
emails.
Oh, yes.
So I'm just very hands-on. I go to the inspections. I see them through every step of the way. I'm good about follow-up later and keeping in touch with them, and they know that a year, 2 years, 5 years later, they'll call me and say, hey, this or that went wrong. Who do you have? You know,
and you're helping them then, even after the closing.
Yeah, you have to.
You do.
You have to.
You do. Absolutely.
And I get a lot of referrals from that.
So. Good. Well, see, there you go. That's another way to. That's a way of running your business. That's for sure. Okay. So question number 3. Mm-hmm. What advice would you give other realtors who may currently be struggling?
They need to remember that it is their business. Mm-hmm. They need to find the most comfortable way they can to run their own business and not be afraid to tell people you're in real estate. Call a minimum of 5 to 10 people a day when you start out. Reach out to them, find out, maybe they just had a baby, maybe they just moved but they might have a friend that's moving. Mm-hmm. But reach out to them, ask them how their life's going, mm-hmm. yes. Talk to them, and then towards the end of the conversation, remind them that you're in real estate and mm-hmm. just ask them to keep you in mind and refer you if they get a chance. And you'd be surprised how many people do that. But people are afraid to tell when they get into the business. Uh-huh. They're afraid to go out and just tell everybody they know.
They're an agent, right?
And you have to. Don't be an undercover secret agent is what I tell everybody.
Don't be an undercover secret agent. I love that. Yeah, you do. Go tell the world. Shout it to the rooftops. I'm an agent.
Yeah,
I love it.
But make sure you're reaching out to a minimum of 5 to 10 people.
Very good advice. Okay, question number 4. What was your favorite sale?
I have sold properties anywhere from $1,000 where the bank had to bring money to closing to get it sold to $1 million. Mm-hmm. And my very favorite was one that I sold for $50,747.
Okay.
I had a VA buyer that wanted to be over in Independence a few years ago, and mm-hmm. we couldn't find him anything. Every time we'd find something that would work, and he just wanted a little bitty place. But every time I would find something that would work for him and to have a long-term renter in it, which wasn't going to work. So I got on the phone one day and I called an agent that I had not met before. It was another RE/MAX agent. And I said, look, you've got this property listed. It hasn't sold in a few weeks. I've got a VA buyer. What's wrong with the property? What would we need to do? What is your seller willing to do? And he said, you know what? Let me call the seller. So he called the seller, called me back, and he said, Teri, my seller just told me that he would be more than happy to sell to a veteran, that he never served, that he's very appreciative, and he'll do whatever it takes. We ended up putting a new roof and gutters on, scraping exterior paint. I know, doing a little bit of mold cleanup. We got it ready for him. I know. I was so happy. He was thrilled.
I
the
bet.
seller was so happy that he was able to help a veteran.
I bet.
And it was a little deal.
Yeah. But a lot of people came into it and pulled it all together and made it work for this gentleman.
So I tell agents, if you can't find something, don't be afraid. If you've got an FHA or a VA buyer, look at properties that were going conventional only.
Okay.
Look at those and say, okay, this one has been on for a while. It's got some problems. You know, call that agent, because I called a couple more in Excelsior that were willing to do the work. We were just going to raise the price a little bit. I mean, that option is out there. So don't rule it out just because it says conventional and you've got a different type of buyer.
You're so smart.
There are some good people with good hearts out there.
Yes. Oh, love that answer too. You got great answers. Okay, last question.
Okay.
What is your craziest real estate story?
There are several I can't tell.
Okay.
One in private. Because I've been doing this, almost 21 years.
Yes.
And there's been some
stories.
Yeah, there have been. I've had people tell me I should write a book someday, and I don't know. There are a couple that really stand out to me. One of the reasons you will see me in jeans, white socks, and tennis shoes most of the time.
Okay.
All right, I used to dress nice.
Okay.
To be one of those realtors that would always dress nice and shout. Well, I had sold down at the Lake of the Ozarks for a few years.
Okay.
And I was dressed really nice that day. You know, I had on my skirt that was flapping in the breeze, and I was out showing this couple houses and, you know, going down to the seawall and getting under the decks and stuff. Well, apparently, little beknownst to me, I caught my skirt. I knew I caught it on something.
Okay.
But I didn't realize that I'd ripped the whole back end.
Oh my gosh.
And it didn't rip upwards. It ripped this direction.
Oh no.
So that it flapped wide open and my whole, you know what, was hanging out. So anyway, I'm still feeling good, and I'm on the properties, and we're going around. We go back to the office, write up a contract. I go to use the restroom, and I had a few choice words. Okay. And I went back and I said, that is never happening ever again. And I'm one of those people that if I'm showing somebody and it's the dead of winter and the guy's got a mustache they can't feel when their nose is running, right?
Right.
So you don't have to say, hey, your nose is running.
Right.
You just hand them a Kleenex. And they always say thank you. But if you've got, just like when that hair was in your mouth earlier, I'm going to tell you, get the hair out of your mouth.
Yes.
No, that's just who I am. But to know, and it wasn't a little rip, Rachel. No.
It had to have been mortifying.
Luckily it was back in the day when I was a lot thinner and better. But still, my whole butt's hanging out. I know. And the white socks are because I have shown a couple of houses now that I've gone into that were severely infested with fleas.
I had that once too.
And
You just covered your socks.
Oh,
yes.
I said those things can do a backstroke in coffee.
Okay.
We had hot coffee in the car and they weren't dying. They were still alive. I'm out in the street stripping down. Luckily I had a shirt under a shirt, you know, so I'm stripping it off, getting off my belt. I'm standing in the middle of the road trying to brush them down, and it was covered with hundreds of these things.
Oh my goodness.
And then had to get in the car and go back and stop and get sprayed. You know what it is. So So if I know that I'm going to a really nice house, you might see me dress up and look.
Okay.
But most of the time, I'm going to be very casual.
Very realtor
casual
casual.
and comfortable. And
There you go.
I've got the same stories everybody has, where you've walked in on naked.
Yes.
You know, we've all done
Yes.
those things.
Those silly little
Yeah.
things. Yes.
So-
Well, I love your story. And I really, really, really appreciate you sitting down with me. Thank you again. Your stories were wonderful. Your
you.
answers were wonderful.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. If you just want to look right into that camera and
Hi,
say
everybody.
thank you guys very much. And we will see you next month. Signature on the Industry. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.